Good science, by definition, allows for more than one opinion. Otherwise, you merely have the will of one man, which is the basis of cult.
If it's not in frame, it doesn't exist.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Where you been?
Drunk.
Wendy, darling, light of my life.
What's your one purpose in life?
To explode, of course.
I like death with sex. How about you, Casey? You like sex with death?
Yeah, so fuck up and die.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
speaking of stutters,
dude.
this production had quite a few stutters.
Oh, I'm interested to hear what facts you got. I know. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we can actually talk. Like, I'm not used to this long. We got to slow it down. This is all the
I know.
fat, dude. All the fat.
Take a
Put
yeah,
it
take a
back
breath.
on, dude. Because the last 5 episodes we've done, 31 movies. It was a blast. Horrortober. Everyone who participated, thank you. But we got used to talking about movies in like 15-minute snippets. And so now we got to slow it way down and talk about this movie.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it longer and in depth, baby. I'm going to wrote an essay. Just kidding. I prepared nothing. I never prepare anything. I suck.
I know, right? I know we've definitely, I've stopped,
One day I might
mean,
go back to writing
I
synopsis.
still do.
But it's kind of fun to go
I
off
know,
the
right?
cuff, So.
It is fun to do a little bit of that free fall. But I typically will do a little bit of, the tiniest bit of research. This is a hefty film, in just the zeitgeist and all of
It's got a lot of historical
cinema. It's
context and stuff. I feel like this is a movie that I've heard about over the years. It always pops on classic lists. All I know is that it was like a classic Western-ish Humphrey Bogart. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
they
But
call it a Western noir,
Sure.
which
It
totally
is.
fits.
Yeah,
That's
noir.
great.
Yeah, which is what I loved about it. It's like I was not expecting. So
Yeah.
of course, I didn't even say it. This is the Coldest Cinema Knowledge podcast. It's all the knowledge we're gaining from watching these movies. Just Jordan over there. I'm Levi here. We're the fattest today.
We are, yeah. We're
So
we're
fat.
the fat of the lamb, dude.
Yeah.
We're getting we're getting as fat as I can't remember the guy's name. The actor that played Cody. Do you know when they shot his scene when he shows up and he starts eating they offer him the food and he eats it? They John Huston got the take on the first shot but made him do it like 9 to 12 different times. So he had to just keep eating food.
So wait, Cody,
just,
I mean, because God, I'm forgetting their names now. Because there's Curtin is like the sidekick.
Yeah,
There's
Curtin's the young kid. Curtin's the kid. Then
Howard's the old guy.
Howard's the prospector who's like the greatest character
Dobbs
ever existing.
is
And then
Bogart.
Dobbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is he says that he's like, I'm P.W. Williker Dobbs or something like that. He's like this wilderness can't get me.
We didn't say the name.
But spoilers, the machete can.
Yeah, a lot of things can get him. Gold madness, baby.
Yeah, he does get
this is
he gets the desert madness.
We were watching The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Oh yes,
Madre.
That is
Sierra
right.
Madre.
Yeah, Sierra Madre
Is the movie that we watched. So we really are trying to scare people away from our podcast.
I know. Well, this is one of those things. If you out there in podcast land are listening to this, thank you. We appreciate it more than anything.
You're one of the true ones.
It's so cool. But like, this drops.
We watch
drops
everything
so hard.
We watch
in
everything,
westerns.
Dude. Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, we watch everything. We love
it always
everything.
drops in westerns.
I'm glad that we watched this because I've known about this tentatively, obviously throughout my film, experience of life and all this, and like, it actually on Reddit, I posted a Big Audio Dynamite song called "Medicine Show."
Did you? I didn't see it.
If you go to r/coldest of knowledge, you can scroll through and look for, Big Audio Dynamite. It's a cheesy 80s. It's the I'm spacing his name. The dude from The Clash. He like went and made like a hardcore, weird, experimental new wave reggae
nice
band, which is called Big Audio Dynamite.
Cool.
They're fucking awesome. I love them. But that song they use a shit ton of. It's like a bunch of
like
Western
sound bites
references
and stuff.
And then they use sound bites from I think from Duck You Sucker, and then like Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and then from this Sierra Madre. So
cool.
like I have known that audio bite we don't need no stinking badges
Yeah, that's
for
good.
like my whole life
That's
growing
good.
up.
Yeah, that's
but I didn't know what movie it came from. I knew it was from a movie. I didn't know what movie it was. And so the second they said, "Oh, you're federales, give us your badges," and I was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna say the line, dude!"
So good.
I was like, "Hell yeah!" So that was great, man. Yeah.
So real quick
Well,
for
yes.
everyone who didn't watch this, I know I tried to get I'm like,
Well,
hey,
real
I knew she wouldn't.
slow, man.
Yeah, real slow.
We could ramble this
No.
this synopsis off.
I know. I asked my wife. I'm like, for everyone who didn't watch this, 40s black and white Humphrey Bogart movie, shame on you. But also, if you didn't, but you're still listening, thank you. But it's a classic. This dude Dobbs. I am still gonna go through it quick because I don't like getting into the details too much. But because hopefully you have watched it. But this dude Dobbs, down on his luck, American guy, in like I forget where Tampico in Mexico. He meets this other dude because they both go on like a job that like screws him over a little bit, and he kind of like falls in friends with this other guy. They're down on their luck. They meet this old guy Howard at like this flop house that like fucking 50 cents for a rat covered cot. It's like all they can afford to sleep. And he's over there being like, "Yeah, I used to be a prospector and I was rich, but that's what gold do to you, tear a man down and tear him up." But he's like, "I'll go for the gold again." And so they get enough money, luckily, to fund an expedition again. And they like bring this guy in and they're like, "Hey, you know about gold? We'll put up some cash. You put up some cash and we'll go on an adventure together." And he's like, "Sure." So they trek out and they do a lot of hard days in the wilderness. They're going down. He's like, "I know where to go." They have some false starts, but then they find an area. They don't make a claim because this is the early.
They find
20s.
a rich vein.
They find a rich vein in Mexico, which is like this is the early 1900s as opposed to the actual gold rush of the American West. So it's like they're in Mexico or whatever, and they mine it for a while. And Howard's like, "Oh yeah, gold will change you, man." But as soon as they start mining it, they were penniless, and they're like, "Oh, 5,000 would be great," but then they just start making bucks, and Dobbs is like, nah, that's small pennies. I say we get at least 75,000 a piece, you know what I mean, or more, and so they keep building it up, but they're in territory that's there's outlaws and bandits, and so a guy comes up on that. This guy doesn't even matter. I almost skip over him. A guy comes up and then immediately dies, and so it's like kind of pointless.
I know. He's kind of he's like the moral compass of the whole show. Like that's
just to
like
show
the only reason he
them,
exists.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
It's to show that they're willing to go through with it, but then they don't. You know what I mean? It's like,
And we'll talk about it though. It's great. I love how it touches on the outside world, and so
Right.
Cody's an integral character, but like that's what's great. It's so stripped down. There's just three main characters. So
yeah. But bandits, these like Mexican bandits show up and kind of harass them.
Gold
chase
Hat.
them
He's
Gold Hat.
Gold Hat's like the biggest, the main antagonist essentially. Yeah.
I love in old black and white movies when they're like, "Did you see his gold hat?" I'm like, "No, I didn't see his gold hat. It's not in color, bitch." You're like,
well, then I'm like, is it really gold? Because it looks just floppy and made of straw.
it's
But I
literally
guess
just
that's
straw.
maybe
They're like,
that's
"What's
what
the
it is."
gold here?"
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So they go along, but then Dobbs keeps getting more and more paranoid. And he's like, "All right, we're gonna split it up and hide our shit separately." And fucking Curtin and Howard are kind of on the up and up. They're like, "No, we're not gonna betray each other. We got enough money. It's cool." But he's like, "No, you guys you're after my stash. My stash." And then so his paranoia is building, and then eventually these like natives come by and they're like, "Hey, can you help us? A boy fell in the river." And so Howard's like, "Okay, I'll go and see if I can do anything." And he like miraculously heals this boy for just like his white man
knows,
powers. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. No, it's like he knows Great Plains medicine or something.
Yeah,
like whatever.
just-
It's like he knows
Just
how to
knows
like
CPR,
wiggle some
like
arms.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Great
yeah.
Plains medicine, yeah. And so he like fixes this kid, and so the natives are like, "Oh, you're great," and so they like revere him and they treat him all this stuff. But he goes and he leaves the money with them, and he's like kind of unsure about it because Dobbs is losing his mind. But Curtin's like, "No, we got you. We'll cover you." But then it's just Curtin and Dobbs, and they're like, he's like, "No, you're just waiting for me to fall asleep so you can shoot me in the back." And Curtin's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, man?" Like,
it's so
what?
good, dude. It's so good.
There's like this paranoia back and forth until they keep getting a jump on each other, and Curtin's just trying to like, "Dude, I'm not trying to kill you, but I feel like I have to in self-defense because you're going nuts." And finally Dobbs gets the drop on him and takes him into the fucking woods and shoots him. And he's like, "Oh, conscience, isn't that a thing? Oh man," and he's like, but if you don't have a conscience, then it's great. He's just rambling insane in the woods. And then he eventually is like wandering into town, and turns out Curtin's not dead. He gets away, and he gets found by the natives.
Howard, yeah.
And the natives bring him back to Howard, and they're like, "Hey, we found your hombre, all shot up." And so they're like, "Oh no, Dobbs shot me, and if I get to him first, that fucker." And so they're like gonna go set up after Dobbs and get their money back and figure it out. And so Howard and Curtin set out after Dobbs, but Dobbs runs into Gold Hat again, and Gold Hat's like, "Give me your shoes," and they just like he like fights him back, and he's like, "No, I just have hides," and they chop him down with a machete. And they see his bags of gold.
It's pretty unceremonious too. It's great.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And they see his bags of gold, and it's gold dust, so it's not like gold lumps. They like, they got the dust. It's how it usually goes through the water and stuff. So it's all the flakes, and they just like think it's sand or whatever. So they just like are like, "What the fuck is this?" And they just like throw the bags out, and it just spills everywhere in the desert. And then they go to town to try to sell the donkeys, and they're like branded, and they're like, "These donkeys are stolen. I fucking sold these to these guys, and now you're trying to sell them to me." So, and they don't mess around. So the federales are immediately like, "No, you guys are bandits. Fuck you." And they set them up and they shoot them. And fucking Curtin and Howard get there, and they're like, "Oh shit. Someone's heard these guys talking about how they robbed Dobbs of the gold and left our provisions," or whatever he keeps calling it, our goods, near the ruins. And so they ride out to the ruins to see if they can save their gold, but it's a big dust storm, and it blows all the
northern
gold. The northern, yeah, it's come in. It blows all their gold away into nothing. So they left with nothing, and Dobbs is fucking hacked up, just gone somewhere, dead. And
yeah.
So Curtin and Hobbs are just like, "Well, geez, it really was the treasure of the Sierra Madre was the friends we made along the way."
Yeah, they laugh, and they go, "Well,
I guess
later, partner."
I'm no worse off than I was, so I guess I'm just gonna fuck back off and maybe go back home, maybe just bum around some more, whatever. Bye now.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I love how Howard's like, "I'm just gonna go be these like
I know, they're like,
natives,
they want me
like
to be
medicine man."
Yeah, they revere me as a god. So he's like,
yeah, basically.
I don't know why you
then,
never want to leave. He had like the only females in the whole movie are like either prostitutes or they're feeding him grapes in that scene. And so
yeah, right. Which they're
lighting,
both kind of the same.
Yeah,
same, yeah.
Lighting his floppiest cigarettes. God, the cigarettes in this movie infuriated me.
Made me so mad, dude. Yeah, as somebody who's smoked in the past, it's like those aren't cigarettes. That is like a flat piece of paper. I'm like, I don't think anyone here has seen a cigarette. Like
Yeah.
when they when the natives come in and they're like, "Oh, can we share tobacco?"
Yeah.
How they're like rolling it and stuff, and it's just like, I'm like, it's literally like, I don't think those people know how to.
Never.
Like the actors are like,
No, I feel like John
we
Huston,
don't smoke.
right? John Huston, right, is the director.
Yeah,
right?
John
I feel
Huston's the director, yeah.
Again, he's just like, whatever, just do it. Who cares? Like,
Right.
and they're
It
like,
can look
all
like
right,
whatever.
bud, and it's literally just like folded in half. It just looks like they have a piece of receipt just sticking out of their mouth. Like,
No, it doesn't. Like when they light it, it's like weird on fire, and it was good. But I mean, I think that a great they don't really do. I want to like go through film history and see like when did sequels become a thing. Like I'm sure it was like it had to be like the 70s and 80s,
wasn't it?
where,
I forget. Like
where,
they did
like-
some sequels, but the first, correct me if I'm wrong, internet. But I feel like we talked about this way back when we did Godfather, where Godfather Part 2 was like the first movie to do like a Part 2, like a direct continuation like that, where like there's a 2 in the title at least. I think
Right.
they definitely
Okay,
had
that-
some
I could-
spin-offs, but
I could see that if that's not the first, that's
one
like
of the first.
that's
one of the biggest first ones anyway.
One of the big right. That's the one that showed studios that like, okay, let's just keep making
Yeah, when are we gonna watch The Godfather
different
Part 2? One of these
sequels.
days.
But I know, right? Well, yeah. I mean, we kind of have to
One of
because
these days.
it's anyways. But I think that a great companion film to this, or not companion film, but like a great sequel idea would be Cody, or not Cody. God, I keep saying that. Curtin going to the widow of Cody.
Oh yeah, because he says he's gonna go
then,
track her down because they're like,
yeah,
oh, we killed this guy. I did kind of skim over that because it's like I feel like it didn't have that much of a purpose other than to give Curtin a purpose later.
but
Right,
yeah.
This
give
guy
him
shows
his
up and he's
character
like,
development, but
yeah, he's like, let me get in on your claim, and they're like, no. and so they're gonna kill him.
I loved his.
It was
I loved
good.
his structure because it showed the characters having to make a decision together, and I love how plainly they set it out. Where it's like, we kill him, we let him in on the thing, or we like run him off, you know. And they're like, well, we got to kill him, and everyone's kind of like, well, I don't want to, but Howard's like, well, I'll do it.
Yeah, he does. I know
I'll
he
kill
picks
him,
up his pistol out
Howard's-
of the tent and is like, oh man, like,
Yeah.
well, got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? That's Howard all the
know,
way
really,
though.
yeah.
His character every time is just like, well, roll with the punches. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, dude, he's okay. So I can real quick. I guess we could do first impressions. Then
Yeah.
I can gush about like what I learned. So, your first impression of this, because clearly this was the first time you've seen this, and
oh yeah, I thought it was great. I have some issues with it. I do think that there were some things in the middle that I feel like were kind of, I mean, we're fine, but like pacing things, but I didn't feel it. But the only thing I didn't like, honestly, was the ending. And it was, I liked it in spirit, like how it was all unceremonious and they kind of left with everything. But it's like, it felt like just very rushed and like,
it did,
I'm
right?
fine
for
with
for a movie,
Dobbs.
yeah.
Yeah, for how long they spend setting it up, because it's like, for how long this movie is, it actually, and for how old it is, it doesn't feel like it's not like 70, like we were saying, like 70s movies
Dude,
where they do everything. It's like,
I
no,
thought-
there's no fat. Like they just really go.
Dude, when we were watching this, I thought this was like 62. And I was like, oh, they're making like a classic. It was weird. I like, seriously, the whole time I was watching it, I'm like, God, they just did like a black and white movie. And it felt, but I was like, no, this is like almost, 20 years back when I thought what time period it was. I was like, oh no, this is a lot older, and it holds up really well.
It does.
Like we kind of, and then I later found out we're like kind of watching like the cream of the crop on, like this is Warner Brothers to date, or not to date, but up to 48 when this movie was released and made. Its production, it was the highest the highest made movie. Whatever the budget on this was the highest that Warner Brothers had made to that date
Nice.
of 1948. So it kind of has that behind it too. Like they kind of had that the capital
Well,
to
it felt
make
like
it good, but
intimate, but because like again, it's like mostly three characters in the wilderness, but it's like you can tell they're on sets a lot of the time, but it's like it feels
no.
big though.
they're not.
Some of it,
That's
they
what's
have to be,
crazy.
right? They definitely have to.
No.
be. Not even on the night
Dude,
set.
this
the
is-
night ones. The night ones look.
This
like
is
sets. Maybe it was just
I mean,
perfect
I don't know. I mean,
stage
that's-
dressing though, because they definitely were going in the wilderness and like, especially when they're hacking through and everything's wet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's real. Like they're just, it's
Well,
just
the
more,
reason-
it's just wet because of rain. or
the
something.
reason this is the most expensive movie that Warner Brothers has made for to this date is because it was shot like 99% on location.
Wow. Okay.
And it's like one of the most it's an American movie that has been shot in a different country.
Yeah.
Most of the movie, like one of those, it's like one of those where it's like it's almost shot 100%.
Well,
in a
that was
different country.
not common back then. No, like in the 40s.
No,
for a
it's
big
still not
studio?
even really common now per
No.
se. I mean, I guess we shoot in Canada a lot, but
Well, now we just
it's
shoot on
like-
green screen. What are you talking about? Like,
well, right, yeah. But still, it's like it's just crazy how it's like
that's
that
impressive
was
because
how they decided to do
honestly,
it. So
I was like,
but I didn't.
the way
I
it
couldn't
was
find
lit
out.
felt like a set
what was.
sometimes.
Yeah,
but,
right,
but,
for sure.
But I was like, I couldn't tell, and I think it was just like this production design, like the team behind it. They have to if they're out in the wilderness because they definitely were a lot of the time, like just in the desert, and it shows the desert / jungle, like they were in both.
I bet the night scenes had to have been shot because now when I
Maybe.
think about it, it's like, yeah, to shoot that would be really hard on location.
Yeah.
because they shot it like in a desolate location, So yeah, to get that out there. But I don't know, yeah, I'll figure that out and see like if I can find a more concrete. 'Cause I just found out that it
What was your
shot.
first impression of that? Because I really loved it, even though I thought the ending was kind of just like petered out a little bit, and I was like,
Yeah,
I liked
that's
I
my
liked
that's my
the
only
sentiment,
gripe.
but it was like
Yeah.
they're just like they rushed back. Like I feel like there should have been a confrontation. Like the bandits just get killed, and then Howard
Yeah.
and Curtin show up, and it's like already the climax had already happened. Kind of like there wasn't really a climax
No,
because it was like
I was gonna
happening
say-
at different times. Kind of.
For how like how solid this movie is and editing everything, there's a part that bothers me is that where he was killed, that pond, they ride their horses right next
They
to
do.
the shore.
I was like, where
and
is
they
he?
don't
Is he
see
alive?
His, they don't see his body. Yeah, no. For a second, I really was like, wait,
Oh, he
maybe
got
he's
away.
alive
Yeah, I'm
somewhere?
like maybe he hobbled
Yeah,
off
I
and
thought
he's
he
gonna
was
come
like,
back. You know.
Right, I thought it would show him like kind of like crawling or something and like leaning against a rock and he's been like cut. But no, it was just like I'm like, oh, that was kind of weird. Why'd they do that? Like, why would they show that?
I was
that
fine.
shot?
It was unceremonious.
I mean, but it's
But I wish it was like I felt it was more final because I was like, did they just kill him? Like they must have because they whacked him with the machete. But it was like this is the 40s, so it's not like they're gonna fucking. It's not Evil Dead.
No.
Dead Alive or it's not Dawn of the Dead where they just show the machete go into his skull. Yeah.
Actually, I can let me put my actually glasses on real quick. Actually, they did shoot him getting decapitated,
Shut
and they
up.
did show it.
No
and I
way.
couldn't.
I want
to.
that.
I can't find the footage, but they shot it. And so there is if you watch carefully at that scene, they cut and they show the bandits like that are fighting over the boots or something. They'll show them. You can see the head rippling in the water.
Oh,
They
they
actually
because I
filmed,
wanted that finality.
They
for his
filmed
character,
him. Yeah,
right?
they filmed him getting his head cut off, and it was all like it like made the like thunk noise, and his head tumbled into the water, and they showed it. And so it's like, but that got cut.
They're like, you can't cut off Humphrey Bogart's head, dude. It's Humphrey Bogart.
You can't murder like that's. I think that is also something that's very sophisticated. I mean, this is post-war like cinema, so you kind of are like it is a little bit more like sardonic, and you're getting like kind of the more anti-hero, and you're getting that like in film history, but to kill Humphrey Bogart with a machete and cut his fucking head off and it rolls into the water, I'm like, and he was down with it and everyone was down with it, but then when they got it back to Warner Brothers, they were like, you can't fucking do that, you can't show that.
That's
They were like, we're not gonna let you do that.
That's too bad because
so it is out there.
That's awesome. Well, I was actually because I was surprised anyway because it's like I expected early on like he's the protagonist. It starts with him.
Yeah,
he's the main guy.
And they do a good job at him kind of being a dirtbag a little bit, like through the whole thing.
He's always kind of a dirtbag, but he becomes like I wasn't ready for like how insane he got. Like, and it was it was gradual too.
So
You're like,
good.
Because Howard's like, I've seen what gold does to a man's soul. You know what I mean? And then like, he just wants a buck. He wants a hot meal, for a fellow American and fucking But the way. Like, Bogart absolutely crushed it, dude. The way he's, like, by the end.
He did.
He's just like, you got to sleep sometime. And then he's just, like, laughing maniacally. And then he gets him. And then after he kills him, he's just, like, alone and crazy. And it's like, it's not romanticized at all. Like, he's just, like, covered in mud. His beard's all grown out. Like, he is not leading man. Like, he's been destroyed by paranoia and greed. And I thought that was really impressive, kind of, for the, like, I feel like, you didn't really see that as much. Because even though this was post-war and you were getting a lot of that, there was the opposite side of the coin of this is the golden age where everything was like bright and shiny. Studio sets, like you were getting noirs, but they were kind of like they were the outsider.
5 years prior to this film, Humphrey Bogart was the Maltese Falcon. He was the sexy, fast-talking, like leading man.
Exactly.
And he launched off, and this is like him in his peak in 48. And like it's just such a cool it's such a cool casting to have him be so. And dude,
he shoots the good guy. Obviously, Curtin's like the good dude.
Yes, right.
He just shoots him in cold blood, dude. And it's like,
well, dude, but I love after he shoots him. It's so cool how he's like reasoning with himself. He's like, I got to bury the body, but he's like, oh, no one will find him. And he's like, oh, the buzzards will alert to his body. Like, and it's like, and they do a good job at like. He doesn't find out that Curtin left, it feels natural with him going back and forth and not like, and then him finally deciding
all
to be
that
like, hey,
end stuff feels like a book,
It's,
which I saw at the beginning. This is based on a book, so it's like that makes sense because it's like it doesn't like a regular screenplay would be like, okay, everything's got to converge into the climax, but it's like Dobbs goes off on his own thing, gets killed by those guys, that comes around. And then, Curtin and Howard come back and it's like kind of already happened and they try to get the gold, but it's too late. Like that feels very book-like, but in a way it was kind of unceremonious. And
it is, I totally agree.
Kind of a little bit.
Was, anticlimactic, and it was kind of rushed for like, they really could have
they really were just
given
like, well, there goes
and
the gold,
it's one of those things, where like, I didn't need them. It's like maybe just another scene with them in town kind of being like, all right, now we officially will part ways, because he was just like, he's like, here, take my pocketbook, I'm out. I'm like, I'm gonna live in the woods now and like not not do this. And
I
it's
wanted
like,
them to have
Cody's
a
just
more
like,
direct agency to the outcome, because it's like they kind of just didn't.
Yeah.
They showed up and everything had just happened around them, to them. Like,
right. They didn't even know like Dobbs was dead.
If
Like,
they would have
that's
had
the
a
part
confrontation with the bandits and found out what Dobbs was dead, or like I thought was going to happen,
right.
because we didn't actually, I wasn't 100% sure Dobbs was dead, and they showed that pond again, or that fucking watering hole puddle.
Yeah.
They showed they showed the water source from fucking Cabin Fever that he also drank out of.
Really? That was, it was a stag. I love when when Humphrey Bogart is drinking out of it, and then the burro, the like donkey is drinking out of it too, and I'm like, man, this is like, I don't know, I don't know why I'm like picturing Humphrey Bogart as being like
actually
pretentious and
down.
like kind of, but he's in there just like slopping with the mules. It's pretty cool.
No, he crushed it. Like they all did, but like
I think Howard to me though was my standout.
Yeah,
Like when I saw him when he's in like the flop house, when he's there in that shitty motel, and he's talking, and I'm like, oh, this guy's kind of fun. But when they're traveling, and he's like, it's pyrite, that's fool's gold.
Yeah.
He's like, look at you guys, you can do you fools. And look at that.
And he's like,
That
next
got
time,
me, dude.
Yeah, next time you start, why don't you consult me before you start throwing water on any old thing? Because out here, water can be more precious than gold, like,
yeah, really though. Yeah. Like, and it just like,
they're like,
and they're
I didn't know this
like,
old
I love
guy.
how
They're like, we're gonna be carrying him on our back, and he's like, he's part goat, and they're like, he
He's
also
part
hasn't
goat,
drinking
he's
any
part
water. Maybe he's part camel too.
Maybe he's part camel. Oh my god, it's just so good, dude.
It's
And
good.
like,
It's really good.
and then something that's amazing is that actor who plays Howard
It's
is
his son,
Walter
right?
Houston.
Okay.
Which is his dad,
Is-
obviously. So
I guess
John
I'm getting
John
the time
Houston
areas.
is
his dad. Yeah.
that dude. That's what's so sick, dude. John Houston is the son, and Walter Houston's the dad. And
Angelica Houston's
Walter
the
Houston,
daughter, right? I saw that up that I was trying to type it, and I was like, oh, that's his daughter.
Oh.
And I looked it up, and it is.
that's
And we just obviously
that's
watched
so
The
sick.
Witches with her last month.
yeah. Well, I love Angelica
Good
Houston.
lineage.
But anyways, dude,
Good lineage, yeah.
Walter Houston, like he's like, write me a good part, and they wrote him such a solid part that Warner Brothers got mad, like, and was like, you can't. Walter Houston was outperforming.
It's
and
reverse
getting more
nepotism, dude.
screen
You
time
can't give your
than-
dad the fucking. Like,
Well, no. It was. They were nervous because they were like, Humphrey Bogart is the bigger star here,
Yeah.
and you were like giving your dad more writing. He's getting more screen time. He's looking more favorable too. That was also another big part of it.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like they were just like, you can't make him. They had to actually cut some of his scenes and start writing him down more because he was like,
he's
he
the
was, like,
best. He's
becoming
got the best
leading man.
dialogue.
But he's got the greatest dude. His dialogue when he's like, it's like poignant when he's like talking about how like gold it can ruin you, like what,
Good.
like it's like and not like gold isn't worth anything. It's the labor that like, that man puts into it. I'm like, oh, that's so good. Great.
He's like the theme, because he's also like the neutral character too, because he's like, yeah, we'll go one way or the other. He's willing to do either way. Where like Curtin's like more the moral, and then Dobbs is the corrupt. But like, it's so funny when Cody or whatever shows up, and they're like, let's just play it cool, and he's just sitting there being like, yeah, just trying to bullshit, and he's like, yeah, we're just trapping, gold. What do you mean gold? I never gave it a thought, but maybe I'll think on that. Well, I'm heading to bed now, and like,
yeah, no, and it's like he literally is like, he's like, you guys aren't trapping up here. There's no game, and he's like, gold.
Yeah,
Like,
what?
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh god, he basically just says like, you got us. But when I think that like, I like Cody's character. I bet you in the book he's probably more flushed out, or he's probably there longer.
He's got to be, because I hated that like
he shows up. And then it's like literally like 15 minutes later, the bandits show up and then they have the shootout and he dies. And it's kind of one of those like, I'm like, I feel like or I guess it was the next night, whatever. But in the movie, it was like 5 minutes,
Yeah, I didn't really,
so it's like,
I didn't love that
Yeah.
at first. The more I sat with it and the way it ended, and Curtin was like, we're all going to give money to his widow or whatever.
Yeah.
But
No,
I was like, he shows
it's a good
up
scene.
And it
They-
was
dude,
important
they're
for
like-
them to make the decision. Then he dies, and then they
Yeah.
read it. They're like, "Oh no, he has a picture of his wife and son, and he said he was about
Yeah.
to retire tomorrow. Oh no, you know what I mean? It's just
I
like,
know, right? Well, no. I know. I mean, I kind of liked the letter. That was cute.
No,
It's
it
like-
was
and
good.
It works. It works really well
works. It works.
with like the time period. But what I thought was so silly is he shows up, he talks to them for like literally like a minute, and then they all go, "Well, going to bed," and it's like it was like light out, and like he's like there, and then he just goes like, "Well," and he just walks. He kind of like walks over and just stands there by the donkeys. Like it's like kind of I was like it's kind of a weird transition. Like kind of seemed like. They got to the scene and they're like, all right, he's done now. His character's done. Let's,
See,
move
I
along.
I was really impressed. I mean, I'll keep coming back to it, but it's just like Dobbs's de-evolution, like his downfall. Because it's like earlier on, I was thinking how it's so brutal how he turns on Curtin so hard. Because he literally, when the mine collapses earlier and Curtin drags him out of the mine, and he's like, what happened? And he's like, who dragged me out? And he's like, Curtin. And he's like, I guess I owe you my life. And then it's just like literally like an hour.
Well,
days later in the movie, but an hour in the movie later, he literally shoots him in cold blood because of his paranoia that he's gonna rob him. You know, he's gonna take him of his hard-earned gold. You know,
he like it's kind of one of those things. Like watching this now with our film context, it seems a little on point. But like when he's in the flop house, he's like money would never change me. Like, and he's very like. He's like, I would just get as much as I need to feel comfortable, and that's it, But then it's like the second it's so funny because then Howard in that same instant is like, no, money will change you, and he's like, no, it won't. And then they get there, and the second they're like, here's money, it changes. He's like immediately it's not enough. Like it's like I need more. It's like it's good. It's a great.
it's good. And
Yeah,
the
great-
fact
great
too, he just
character.
completely keeps getting like offended. Like anytime anyone calls his character into question. It's like
does, yeah,
literally,
he's a little
he's like,
insecure,
you
yeah.
calling me a hog? And he's like, remember, I put up the money. And then he's like, here's your fucking money plus interest. And he just throws it in the fire.
Yeah.
And then like later he punches that guy and he's like, well, you got that one. He just keeps doing that. And it's just like, it's obvious, but it's so good that it's just like, it's because of his like own like self, like his own deprecation. Like he can't admit to himself that he is being like, he's got to stick to these beliefs that he's like, he is noble. He is like, I am a good man. It's like when he thinks he kills Curtin and he's like, no, I had to do it. I had to. Like he's always trying to convince
right.
himself,
He does.
like, I am a civilized man. Like it's fine. Like it's the deeper and deeper he keeps digging himself in to this, the hole of gold. It's
Yeah, right. I mean, it really does. Like it's like a bittersweet when he dies because that's what I mean. That's what I enjoyed about it. It's like it's so unceremonious, as we said, and it's like it's so sudden, and it's almost like Dobbs has just enough morals to not like murder those guys immediately, But then like Gold Hat is just like I don't know. He's just like a man of opportunity, and so his character is interesting. But I gotta say something real quick. I think that the more I think about the inciting incident to get them to leave. Is kind of it was a little silly, like how he's just like they're like we need an extra $100, and then the little boy comes up, you won, sir, you won.
like the exact
and he's
amount,
like, like the exact to the penny, and he's like here's 1 peso for you, kid. Like
I feel like again that all felt very
was
book
silly.
because I'm like we didn't need.
Well, I think it would have been great
them getting stiffed by the guy, like necessarily.
when they get stiffed by the guy, and then they beat the shit out of him, dude. That is such a brutal scene.
Dude,
it's so good.
It's so good. It's simultaneously like goofy and old school, but also like like because 1 second they're
To
like
think about it.
going really fake and slow fighting, but then they're like he like fucking like. It's like one punch is like fake, and then the next punch like feels like it rocks his world, and I'm like, the choreography here, I don't know what's going on, but I'm into it.
No,
I don't know.
it kind of felt real. It kind of gave me some. We have to
felt clumsy.
on your bingo card, right? First cow.
Yeah, dude.
It felt very first cow to me.
Yeah.
And so like that scene in the bar in First Cow is awesome. But like, it's like, when they beat him up, they beat him almost to death. Like they're like he's like I love when he's like I'm licked, boys. And like I think that it would have been better for motivation if that guy was like I have my goons now. gonna kill you, and so they're like, oh, we really need to get
Like
we
on the
need to
run.
get out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of on
Well,
the run. But they kind of did that with the bandits, you know. They turned that into that.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
it makes sense to like show their character where it's like he takes his wallet out and he's like, "This is how much
And
we're owed."
They don't
right?
rob him.
Yeah, and they let him keep the rest of his money, and they just take what they're owed, which it's like, and then as things go,
But
he literally kills his friend. you know?
Right, and that's what's kind of interesting to like to show how far he's gone. It's like another he's totally abandoned his morals, you know. He's
But
like
keeps
his
justifying
greed,
it to himself, like that
his greed
he's
is taken off.
done the right thing, you know what I mean? Done the only thing.
But
It was self-defense, practically, you know.
Right. That's what's so funny. Yeah, but when they beat that guy up, it's like I'm kind of like I don't know what I'm supposed to feel because they are double teaming this guy and they are he like that guy could die. Like he was
he could still die.
Like his brain was rocked, dude.
They did.
Like the whole time I was watching it, I was like, I mean, he did sucker punch him with that bottle. Like that was pretty. That took me by surprise, dude. When you were watching this,
I didn't think he
like,
would. Yeah.
He
had the upper hand for a minute there. I'm like, come on, there's two of you guys. Like,
I know. Well, that's what I thought. Yeah,
then
like,
they got
two
him.
of you.
They got him.
Well, and I realized too, like looking at that man, I was like, oh, he's like a foot taller than the other guys. So it's like he's a foot taller and like 60 pounds heavier. So it's like I'm like, okay, he could pummel him, but like those when they started punching him, I was like, it's like Jesus Christ. And like I love how the onlookers, like everyone at the bar is just standing there,
like my
just
God,
watching this happen.
Literally,
like, yeah.
I like when they see him though, and they're like, hey, is that him? And she'll, you know, they're like, let's get him. And he's like, yeah, let's get him hard. And I'm like, dude, yeah, all right, you did, you got it.
Yeah, no, they did. But I loved, dude. He was a great character. I loved like that. Everybody's dialogue in this is so good. Like the silver tongue. He's just like he's such a good fast talker. Like, you know, boys, I'm not getting paid for it either. You know, let me get you a drink. Like,
I know, perfect con man. I know, even the kid selling. He's like, senor, senor.
Yeah. Oh no, know what I love too? It was smart. They, like it's the Spanish is untranslated, and that's what's great too. Is like they do a pretty good job at like filling you in on what happened. Like you know, it's like
I thought
having
about like
character.
turning on the subtitles to see, but I was like,
But
in older movies like this, I
isn't,
usually don't because they don't like audio back then, especially. Like I watch subtitles. We watch subtitles with like mostly everything.
With everything. With
And
this movie. Yeah.
I didn't with this movie. I sometimes don't with older movies because of the way the productions are. They really have to like enunciate everything, and I feel like I can get absorbed more where it's like more modern, nuanced performances. Like you miss stuff. I'm not the best. I'm going deaf these days in my older age and shit. But I almost turned it on a couple times because I'm like, I wonder if the Spanish is subtitled. But I'm like, I don't need it because they come back in if they ever feel like there's an important like plot point.
Yeah.
They have somebody be like, what did he say? And like they spell it out, or it's often there just like in the context in the like body language. Like it's great.
I catch some words, but I think that but what's fun is they used that to their advantage, and they got around a lot of the like the Hays codes, the censorship at the time. They had a lot of explicit language and a lot of like crude, like you know more crude. Like it's great when Gold Hat is digging his grave. One of his buddies are like, it's really hot outside. And he goes, it's going to be hotter in hell when we're burning alive.
That's awesome.
Like, hell yeah, dude.
I know. It's like, if we can't cut off Humphrey Bogart's head, I'm going to have this guy say motherfucker in a different language. You know what I mean? Something like
basically. No, that literally was like, they're like, we're going to be explicit and with this because it's like, that doesn't
that's
get,
what I like.
And that's what's great too is like of the time, it's like, they're going to be like, they're speaking Spanish, whatever.
Well, this
like,
felt, 100%, right?
Yeah.
But no, this whole thing was like much darker than I was expecting.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
I was expecting, the treasure of Sierra Madre. I was expecting like, you know, a Western, like adventure romp almost.
Yeah.
And
I thought it would end with them in like like in a spa with women, you know,
yeah,
like laughing,
right?
and you know, yeah.
So the fact that it's just like this kind of downfall of this greed and corruption, and it's pretty dark. And like
the
you
main
said,
character gets murdered. Like it's like
machete.
I did not expect that.
No.
Yeah, dude, I did not expect that. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, in a million years, I wouldn't have been like, yes, Humphrey Bogart, our main character. He you know, he kind of loses his way a little bit, but I thought he would get robbed from his riches, and then he'd have to learn to be like, I'm happy with the
or something.
Like or though, like I thought it was going to be like, Dobbs and Curtin would make up, and they'd go on to it. You'd be like, let's do another adventure.
Well, I was
and
even
Howard would be
hoping
like,
for
I can't
some
go with you, but-
resolution for Curtin because he becomes kind of like our hero or like the moral compass anyway. And so when he's like, oh, I'm going to get back at Dobbs, when he's like, they're slinging him up, but then we never get that. And that's where the unsatisfaction comes from because it's like, even if it was a confrontation for the good or the bad, where it's just like, because I was expecting Dobbs like half macheted. When they go back out to the ruins, he's there just like trying to cling on to like the bits of the sand and they're just like, falling through his fingertips like life itself.
Yeah.
I was expecting that. And then like Curtin decides to get his revenge. He decides not to because he's like, what can I do to this man he hasn't already done to himself? It's kind of what I was expecting. So it's like, it doesn't ever like feel satisfactory in that way because then immediately they're like, well, this is like, I guess we're done.
I know, like I almost like it's clearly I didn't need him.
So that felt like a studio thing too, where
or
they're
something.
like, we need a put a nice cap on this bad boy, and they're like, all right, we'll just shoot this at the back lot and put it on the end. There.
Right, because I mean it does. Yeah, I wonder if in the book it's like I want to read it because it's like I want to know like how like it just seemed it was so like it was like oh the money's like here comes the Northern blew our money away. That was funny. Yeah, I'll see you later. Like it was kind of like it's like they've been for 10 months. He said like we've been doing this for 10 months. They didn't. Is
that
like,
how long they were out there? Like because I knew it was a while.
Yeah, they were out there for 10 months. He said, yeah, I can't remember who said it, but someone said like, oh, 10 months of our
wild.
of our lives,
They're
and,
just
like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like, but they talked about it earlier too, where he's like, what's a year? What's a year if we can get $100,000 each or whatever,
Yeah.
But anyways, it's like, yeah, I just wish that they had one more scene with them, like kind of really saying their final goodbyes, because it's like he left him with a bullet hole in him. He's just like laying there, like it's like I
thought he was gonna shoot him in the head point blank because he goes back and he's like, did I actually kill him or is he just faking it? And then he goes back and he doesn't. And then when he goes back a third time, he's gone and he's like, oh no, is he alive? No, the fucking tiger drug him off.
Right. Well, and I love how that's like not real. It's like the tigers wouldn't really hurt them because like Howard said at the beginning, he's like, oh good, everybody's scared of these like tall tales, so no one's gonna go out here. They're afraid of like tigers and dragons. But I thought that Curtin was gonna get because Dobbs throws the gun at him. He's like, this is your gun. Like after he shoots him, that kind of like in that moment of guilt. I thought that Curtin was gonna come back and like shoot him or do something. I was like curious what he was gonna do, but I love it. I love the like he dragging himself through the desert and like they do such a dude. The like production on this is amazing. Like it looks so dry and like they look haggard, dude.
Dry
like, it's kind of like there's a little bit of realism because it's like I've been living out there, It took them 5 months to shoot this movie.
Nice. Yeah, because
so
like the beard, that's what I'm saying. It's like it was so.
Yeah.
They look like crusty, insane prospectors, which it's like that's like a thing. You know what I mean? And it's like they don't look like Hollywood movie stars. You know what I mean? Which is like I really appreciate that because you still get that these days, and that's that. Even though this, like a neo, which is weird for 48, this is still like a neo western with like the noir vibes. Which is what's so cool about it. But it's like, that's the thing that still to this day bothers me about Westerns, except for the real good ones, where it's like everything's just so clean. Everyone's so clean all the time. And like, they look
kind
like
of that
they
like
have
310 to Yuma looks like that.
They
where
look like
like
movie stars that are play acting as in the West, and they have beautiful teeth and everything. But it's like, no, these guys, they look like they've been like, it's like when you see, when he dunks his head in that tepid pond, I feel it. Like he's made of dust. He pads his way past the burrows of the clouds and dust come over him.
Dude, that was so good. Like, man, I didn't look it up. I didn't have the heart, but I'm sure I'm sure the animal abuse was rampant.
Oh, rampant. It had to be.
Yeah, but dude, do you know a Gila monster? I found out that that Gila monster was probably because they shot it, and I'm sure they shot it for reals. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't look it up, but it looked like
they had a corpse.
I don't know.
And then they tugged on it with a line at the end because they're like, "Well, we couldn't find another Gila one, and we already killed that one."
Yeah, right. Got really
That's what it looked like.
Like, cause I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe they found one dead already, but I have a strong feeling that
I
they
doubt
killed that
it.
Gila monster.
Yeah.
But but what, dude? The only way you can get a Gila monster to stop biting is drown it. That's
Really?
like that was something I learned. It's like if you get bit by one, you have to like go in the water and drown it, and it'll let go. So I'm like,
I know he
they
was
were
saying
like,
that,
they're
and
like, Gila
when he was
monsters.
talking, he's like, even if you
Yeah.
cut its head off, it'll still stay attached. Biting.
It'll still bite you.
Is
Yeah.
that true? I don't know jack shit
Yeah, that
about
is
Gila
true.
monsters. So I
No,
don't know.
dude, I don't know why. I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about Gila monsters. And I was like, oh, dude,
I'm gonna
what a
name
coincidence.
my
But
band Gila Monster.
dude, Gila monsters are so cool, man.
Yeah,
They're,
it's
yeah,
good.
they're-
You got a money minute or something?
I
'Cause
do.
You
Yeah,
were
so
talking
I got
about
a
money
little-
bags
a little
and how
extensive money
expensive
minute,
it
too,
was.
Yeah, it was 3.5 million by the end of it, and I can't think of his name right now. One of the Warner brothers, something Warner. He never reads scripts, and so he thought this was going to be a simple B movie western, and they were like, oh, we're going to shoot this on location. He didn't care, and when he started seeing dailies, he was like, oh, this is cool. It's like it's good. But then he would get the budget report, and he like had a hemorrhage, like he lost his mind because it was like it just like kept getting more expensive.
Yeah.
And they shot 29 days over their limit, or over their budget, like over their schedule. And he was freaking out, but it's like they kept it, like everyone was like reassuring him that like this is going to be good. Unfortunately, it flopped hard.
Oh no!
Even though now it's considered,
like a
it's
classic.
in the
Yeah.
AFI's top 1,000 movies, but it only made $5 million in box office, which is crazy. Which I mean, kind of makes sense because it is post-war and it is like all men. Which I mean, that exists, but it's like usually it's kind of funny. I like was noticing that as I was watching it. There's usually one actress that's in it that's well known, and she. Even if she's only in it for a minute,
I noticed
they
that
at least
too. It
have.
was just these
I
dudes mostly.
Yeah, like I was like literally like, does a woman speak in this? Like I literally the old woman who's like washing the cloth. I don't even think she speaks. Like
The
I
prostitute
does
says
a
like,
woman?
like, "Oh, daddy," or whatever, but whatever she says.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah.
No, I noticed that, but I like. It's one of those
mean,
movies.
no,
It would be weird if
clearly
they injected it in there, but
Yeah, no, I think it's like it's true to the book, and that was something that's really funny. Is the author of this, Travin, is B. Travin. He's a recluse. He like lived in Mexico as a recluse, and they had to like write him letters to like get this book from him. Like it's like his book was published, and like to get the rights from him and to have him help write it into a screenplay. It's like they had to like go track him down. It's like.
he's just
Like,
living in an old mine shaft, like.
Basically, yeah.
That's funny.
Stop.
She's like, yeah, track down the mine shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. It's too bad. Yeah, because I guess at the time, like I don't know, because I am surprised. This does feel like almost like '60s in a way, because not only its theme and its darkness, but like westerns. I mean, westerns of what we've always talked about. Every November we talk about this, where it's like they never are like popping off, except for like the '60s is when they were popping off in popularity.
Right,
but they've always
the 50s and 60s.
But they've always been around. And so this feels like a post revisionist western almost.
The first,
but
the
it's like
first
before
feature
it
film
was
is a
really-
western.
No,
So-
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
Right,
every
it's
you
like-
look.
yeah.
That's why I always do western months, baby. It's like, well, won't run out because
Yeah.
you look every decade, like they are always making them, and because they're like they're also like horror movies where it's like you, especially nowadays, you can sometimes do them on the cheap. So you always see like, oh yeah, Ethan Hawke was in a fucking random western or something,
I know, right?
And so, but like every decade they have it, they just keep making them. But I was surprised because this felt like it would have came after, because it's not what I would call like traditional western. It doesn't take place in the time period necessarily. It's like, but it's like in the wilderness. So it totally works, and it has the themes. It has like the heavy noir themes too, which I was pleasantly surprised by. But like those shit, like noir was kind of popping off in the 40s, but like noir and westerns, 50s, dude. Like this felt like it came after those as like a response to those, like almost like anti-western vibes in a vibe. But I don't know. I guess it was in the way to like the older westerns of like the John Wayne era westerns, I guess. But even then, that's
Yeah,
still, like,
right.
Rio Grande is like 50s, but anyway.
Right. That's what. Yeah. See, that's what's crazy. It's like I do. Yeah, I agree. That like it almost it lives in a weird space where like I mean it is. It's like yeah, it's not a true western, but it is definitely. It's definitely a western. It
was a good way
all
to start the
all
month. I wanted to
trappings.
watch something old school, like something kind of
I
classic.
know. Yeah,
you know
I
what
saw.
mean?
Yeah, I saw you put a bunch of old 30s and 40s, and I was like, hell yeah, dude. And this is and like what I mean.
It was a palate.
It
It felt like a palate cleanser for me
watching-
after just so many horror movies back to back to back.
so
like
much
this.
horror.
Even
Right.
though this was tense, and it wasn't like slow, it wasn't fat like necessarily, but it's like, yes, I don't know. This is exactly what the doctor ordered, kind of. Despite my couple nitpicks with it, I still really loved it.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I'm like, I think it's funny doing the podcast. I've realized how kind of pigeonholed I've been into our decade, which I mean, clearly that's just kind of how it works. Like you typically only watch like consume media that's within the last couple of years, if not even like the last 20 years maybe. But even then, it's like typically the last like 5 years.
I
is
can't
kind of
get
what you do.
anyone
And
that I know
but-
to basically watch a movie that was made before their lifetime. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like honestly,
really
like
though.
if
And
they
it's
didn't, if it
this
didn't
is a
come out
movie
in their
that was made
lifetime and they
before-
didn't grow up with it or anything like that, it's like I can barely get my wife to like maybe watch something made in like the 80s or something, maybe. But
Yeah, maybe.
she won't. I literally was like, "Hey, you want to watch this movie for this 40s western with me?" And she just laughed in my face, which I knew she
I
would.
know that was
that was
I
the
know,
joke,
yeah.
but
Vic-
you know.
Victoria like had her headphones on and was looking at her phone. I was like, yeah.
Which is like your loss though,
that's-
because honestly,
this movie's great. That's what I
there-
mean.
well,
Like
there's
that's what
so
I'm
many
saying.
good
I was trying to
movies.
get to that point.
Yeah,
I was ranting a little bit where it's like with the film club. I've been what we've done even the 70s. I didn't even realize how little 70s films I've seen.
I always want to watch
And now
more
we're,
70s.
like,
70s movies rule,
all the-
man.
At every one we watch, I'm like, this movie's like better than like 90% of the movies out now.
I don't know what
like,
the
it's
haters,
crazy.
Like,
Like,
fucking haters, man. I don't know.
oh yeah, dude. But this movie, I do feel it's funny though. This is like cream of the crop. This had a lot of like really strong people working on it, and so it kind of like I guarantee you, there's 50 movies from this time period that suck. That we would watch and be like,
That's
this isn't very good.
That's the thing.
But on that note, go out, watch this film. It's a delight. It's awesome.
It holds
Get
up.
some
It holds
desert
up, man.
madness,
And we watched the, it was like definitely like a remastered version because it looked great. Like it was fucking HD,
That's probably-
crisp
yeah.
as fuck. Like it looked great.
Yeah.
It was,
I know.
and
I was-
obviously
I was,
blocked
like,
really beautifully. All movies. In
I
this
was
era
just about. I
blocked
was just
so
about to say
good.
it's like there were people online that were like that are just like they're like, wow, this like this movie it's got like a interesting look to it, and I'm like, yeah, it's blocking, baby. Like it's like they
Which makes it even
know.
more impressive that they shot on location because that's what I guess the blocking plus the way it was lit made it feel like a set.
yeah.
Which, yeah, it does.
I wonder how much maybe they inflated it and there's a lot more sets, but like even the night stuff though, I still feel like they could have lit that.
Well,
They
even the
could have
way
been-
that's what I'm saying. It's like the way that like the camp was set up. I'm like, is that? I'm like, I couldn't tell. I'm like, no, I feel like this is really there, but the way it's set up, it's so perfectly set dressed. Because like shot composition was, I mean, it's still a big deal, but like back then it was like the thing. It's like you had to have someone filling every spot of like something interesting on every
Yeah.
spot of the frame. It has to be deliberate, and so like they would have people stand just so, and if the camera moves, then these guys need to be here just so. Everything is very, very, very thought out, and so it's like even the way they set up the camp and everything, it felt like they obviously built sort of their set in the wilderness.
yeah.
But it felt like, I don't know, like you know how it is, especially with those older movies. It's always surprising because shooting on location was definitely rare. Anyway, I got one Reddit. You
Yeah.
ready for it? You ready for me to
yeah.
rate it on Reddit?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Oh, let's see. Okay, I just read his first line. So, competitive bet says 5831. This is a placeholder in case I don't finish in time. I'm about halfway through, about where they get fourth member. So far, I love the transformation from the beggar who's quick to share his wealth without a thought about who paid what, putting up his lottery winnings to fund the trip, to someone miserly and clearly resentful over every imagined wrong. I feel like it'll come to a head where he demands an equal share to what he put up to the start as an evolution from, I'm just saying I'd be in my right to do it, not that I will. I also love the old prospector kicking their ass, getting to the spot and his wisdom about wasting water and needing beans. Oh yeah, the beans bit. It's good.
Oh, the beans. Oh, dude, that beans. Oh, God, thank
You gotta have your energy.
Thank
and
you
they're just
for reminding
passed the
me
fuck
of
out.
that.
Like,
Thank you for reminding me. You gonna eat your beans? You gonna eat your beans?
you
Dude,
got a
that
bunch of
was-
beans. We got a big day
holy
ahead of us
shit.
tomorrow.
You got yeah, you gotta have your beans. No, that dude, I forgot about like this movie. This movie has so many unintentional, hilarious parts in it. Like it's not meant to be hilarious, but I'm like cracking up.
Yeah, I was cracking up a couple times too. Thank you for the comment. I'm sure he's finished it by now. So if you do finish it and have more to say, boy, do I got something for you. He goes down that hole. You're like, man, I wonder if he goes gold madness, dude. He gets gold
goes mad.
madness.
Well, do you know what's funny? While we were watching it, before I wrote my comment where I was like, I just put like Howard is the GOAT, you know, because it's like he's great. I put that before they left, like before, and like it was, yeah, I don't even know. I put that in there when like after Cody and stuff, like so it was like there was still like 40 minutes left of the movie, and when I wrote that comment, and then I was like, man, I really hope he doesn't become a bad character
I know.
in this. Like I kept being like, I'm like, I can't imagine them changing him. You know, that's not kind of this style of movie. They don't really do a. Everybody kind of gets their own archetype and then they stick to it, you know, and then they just have like character
and that's why Dobbs,
But,
it's like his whole, he was like,
so yeah,
how it
he starts
corrupts
out
you.
as a schemer.
He
yeah,
is, but like the whole point
know.
of the movie, like they set it up early, like you said, very deliberate. It's like your money corrupts always. Like it always corrupts, man.
Right.
And gold can, the prospect of riches can make a man go crazy. And it's like, yeah, they ran wild with that. But it's like, it's pretty nuanced. I mean, I don't know. This like that's what I'm saying. It's like old movies are great, man. Like they really bring
so
something
good.
to it. Like I don't know. So
yeah.
anyway, I'm looking forward to whatever westerns we keep watching because I wanted to do an old one first, and then I might do like a more family centric one, like a Rango and something like that.
Oh, that'd be
for
fun.
1 week,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then I don't know, maybe some more modern. Takes.
Can you put aliens versus cowboys or whatever?
Oh, if I
I've
do a
always wanted
family
to
one, I
watch that,
totally
but-
will. Oh, have you never
Yeah,
watched
totally.
it?
But yeah, I've
It's-
never seen it. I've always wanted to.
It's fun,
mean,
I guess.
It's a fun. Yeah, no, I
Dude,
love
Sam
the
Rockwell.
idea.
Sam Rockwell's like one of the main characters in it.
Oh,
and he's awesome.
Sam Rockwell's in it. Oh,
Yeah,
how have I not seen that? Wow, what? I'm a poser.
You are a poser. Yeah, if I do a like a more family centric one, because my kids would watch that. So I'd like do like Rango. Pablo wanted me to do Spirit, the animated horse one.
Yeah, actually, why not? Yeah, that'd be cool.
So we'll see. And then I might do like I'm always trying to get like I don't know. We'll see. I keep trying to get every year. I try to get someone to watch Appaloosa because Appaloosa's super underrated.
Yeah.
Like mid 2000s with fucking Viggo Mortensen
we'll-
and what's his face, who directed it.
yeah.
Ed Harris directed it too. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sisters Brothers. I just finished the book, and the book was fucking incredible. And I want to watch the movie again, so we'll see. But I'm immersed in westerns, man. I'm fucking reading
know.
Western books.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Horror is behind us.
I know.
We're
Horror always lives
blazing
in
the
my
trail.
heart, for sure.
Well,
but,
yeah,
but
clearly,
westerns.
I would. Yeah.
Those are like my two favorite. If I had to pick a subgenre, obviously we have a film club and a film podcast. I love pretty much all movies except for musicals. But
Right. I know. We
It's like-
dude. There is not a musical yet. Even Singing in the Rain.
it's like
I
the best one. But
I
even then,
like
it's
it.
like I like
Yes.
it. But
Yeah, I like it, but it's like it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't. I guess I really do like Cats a lot, but like
shut the fuck
not,
up. Which one?
Cats? Like no, I'm dead serious, dude. No, not the movie, but like the act, just the whatever the play, the film. It's not like before a narrative movie came out. You know,
One
quote-unquote
day
narrative.
we'll do
It's like
musicals. We'll do musicals
regular
one day
Cats.
because we just have
It-
to. But
I love it. I love Cats, but like it's not a movie, and it's not like it's it's more.
I
It's almost
remember-
like Circus Soleil or
I
something.
remember
Like,
one
it's
of my
not like
friends tried to convert me, and they're like, "Oh, dude, I got the musical that's gonna you're so dark and edgy,
Hello, Dolly or
Levi." No,
Oh,
they're like, is Repo the
Oh, is it
Genetic
Sweeney?
Opera and Sweeney Todd?
Oh, even
Repo
that-
the Genetic
oh,
Opera and
I was
Sweeney
gonna
Todd.
say-
I was like,
Yes.
boring. I was like, get out of here.
Boring. No,
Like, I don't
no,
give a
dude.
fuck.
Sweeney Todd is close because it has a little bit of narrative in it, right? Does it? Maybe not. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know. Some musicals where it's like they're singing like Wicked does that, where like the plot only advances through singing.
I've said this
I'm like,
before,
come
and I'll say it again. The actual best musical, hands down, because I always forget that most animations are actually musicals.
South Park.
South
Yeah.
Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut, best musical. Like,
I guess that's true. Yeah, Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
that's
do
the
some
best.
good.
That's the best one. So.
They do some decent.
All right.
decent
Anyway,
stuff.
we're not talking about
Anyways,
visuals.
yeah.
We're moving
Not
on.
yet, it's all-
We somehow.
Well, we should
We've been saying
do
the same
musical
thing for the last
westerns.
20 minutes. Yeah.
I know.
We already
yeah.
the
This is-
first movie we ever did for the podcast was Seven Brothers for Seven Brides or whatever.
that is true. I forgot. Yeah.
It's like the first movie we
Yeah.
ever did, which was a
don't-
way to
don't-
start it.
If you
It's
could,
one
yeah, I was
way.
gonna say if you could find that episode, I implore you, don't listen to the first like 25
doesn't-
episodes.
Jordan and I have known each other for like 20 years, but like, which is wild. But it's
yeah, I know, right. It's
if
crazy.
you listen to that episode,
Oral.
it sounds like we just met. like it's like we don't know what we're doing.
It really does. No, it's like, and it's like weird because like it's like weird to feel. I felt nervous.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm like, we're just talking about movies, so it's like, I don't
which
know.
is like we
But here we are.
we spend too much time talking about movies outside of podcasts too, and we're just like we should just save this. like,
We need to put it. Yeah. Oh, I know that.
But then we
happens a
don't know
lot,
what
too.
to talk
We're
about.
like- I was
What are
literally
we gonna do?
just
Talk about
to say
our,
that.
our
I'm just
fears and ambitions? Fuck that.
like, yeah. Talk about your kids.
Yeah.
Ew.
Ew.
Put them in a movie. Put your goddamn kids in a movie.
I'll talk to you about this after briefly, but I am
Okay,
actually
okay,
writing
okay.
a script that I want to film
right,
over
all
my
right.
Christmas break with my kids, and I want to see if you want
Oh,
to get in on it.
that'd be sick. Can I? Yeah, can I help? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Okay, everybody in podcast, if you're still listening to this,
I know.
thank you.
Thank
They
you.
support us on Patreon.
Yeah.
And everyone who does support us on Patreon,
You're cute.
You're very cute.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got some stickers.
But
coming.
hell yeah, dude.
I'm gonna get back.
That'll be
I'm gonna
fun.
get back to the
I
to
know.
the dudes. I can mugs, stickers. I'm getting you guys.
Hell yeah.
New year, new me.
All
we
right,
keep
folks.
saying that. We're gonna do more
I
stuff
know,
for the
I know.
Patreon. We've been saying that for like 6 months.
I know. Which now I have so much more free time. I gotta do it. Okay. I'm gonna.
We'll go back to doing post shows or something eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. We should get that.
All right.
I'll
Bye.
start taking my fen and
Yeah,
going,
buddy.
baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay.
All right,
Bye.
bye.